It feels like LeBron James is going to get traded.
LeBron James has finally made his move, and it's a major one.
Obviously, it's a lot of emotion that goes in when you give so much to a franchise and you sacrifice for a franchise. And
after 8 seasons with the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James, the king himself, is out, and he's taking his son, Bronny, with him. To be fair, this move shouldn't come as much of a surprise. His agent, Rich Paul, hinted at it not long ago. LeBron wants to compete for another championship, and he knows the Lakers are focused on rebuilding for the future. He understands that, but at this stage of his career, he values having a realistic chance to win it all. That opportunity, according to reports, lies in Miami, alongside rising star Tyler Herro. In the summer of 2025, rumors exploded across major sports outlets like Bleacher Report, claiming that LeBron James and Bronny James were being traded from the Lakers to the Miami Heat. The potential reunion with the franchise where LeBron won 2 titles has been described as the making of a new dynasty. One detailed trade proposal that caught attention suggested the Lakers would receive Andrew Wiggins, Terry Rozier, and 2 first-round picks, while the Heat would acquire both LeBron and Bronny James. The financial mechanics of such a trade are complex. Only a few teams, including the Clippers and Heat, can absorb over $50 million in expiring contracts, the range required to take on LeBron's massive salary. This fact alone adds credibility to the Miami rumors. LeBron has already exercised his $52.6 million player option for the 2025-26 season, signaling his short-term commitment to Los Angeles. However, Rich Paul's statement emphasized LeBron's desire to win now, while closely monitoring how the Lakers shape their roster. Paul said, "We are very appreciative of the partnership we've had for 8 years with Jeanie and Rob, and we consider the Lakers a critical part of his career." But that careful phrasing, using past tense language, raised eyebrows among analysts. Many interpreted it as a subtle signal that LeBron's patience might be wearing thin. At 40 years old, he's achieved nearly everything possible. For NBA titles, for finals MVPs, multiple regular season MVPs, and the status of the league's all-time leading scorer. Yet, his hunger for one last shot at glory remains undiminished. The possibility of a Miami return makes emotional and basketball sense. During his first stint with the Heat from 2010 to 2014, LeBron led the team to 4 straight NBA Finals, won 2 championships, and earned 2 league MVPs. His chemistry with coach Eric Spoelstra and the culture built under Pat Riley turned that era into one of the most successful periods of his career. Reuniting with Miami, and teaming up with talents like Tyler Herro and Bam Adebayo, could give LeBron the competitive edge he's craving. Of course, financial and contractual hurdles remain. LeBron holds a no-trade clause, giving him complete control over his next destination. The Lakers have also made it clear they don't want to take on long-term contracts in any deal, signaling a focus on flexibility for the post-LeBron era. That complicates negotiations, but also fuels speculation that a clean, strategic break might benefit both sides. Then there's the emotional heart of this story, the unprecedented father-son duo of LeBron and Bronny James. During the 2024-25 season, they became the first father-son pair ever to share an NBA court, debuting together on October 23, 2024, against the Minnesota Timberwolves. The crowd erupted when they checked into the game side by side, a moment that transcended basketball. Bronny's journey to that point was anything but easy. A former Sierra Canyon standout and McDonald's All-American, his college career was derailed by a cardiac arrest in July 2023, caused by a congenital heart defect. After surgery and rehabilitation, he made a remarkable return to basketball later that year. His perseverance was widely celebrated, a triumph of determination over adversity. Still, Bronny's presence in the NBA has sparked controversy. Some critics question whether he earned his roster spot on merit or benefited from his father's influence. His rookie stats, averaging 3 points, 8 assists, and 7 rebounds over 27 games, reflect a young player still developing his skills and confidence at the pro level. ESPN's Stephen A. Smith and other commentators have been outspoken about those numbers, arguing that they fuel the larger debate about nepotism versus opportunity in modern sports. Regardless of where one stands, one thing is certain. The LeBron Bronny saga has become one of the most compelling narratives in basketball history. Whether they remain in Los Angeles or find new life in Miami, their story symbolizes both a generational legacy and the relentless pursuit of greatness. A father and son rewriting the rules of what's possible in the NBA.
Bronny James has played in 13 NBA games. Ladies and gentlemen, he's averaging 0.3 points, 0.3 assists, and 0.4 rebounds. And he's playing in the first quarter of an NBA game? Really?
These numbers, taken in isolation, would typically raise serious questions about any player's readiness for NBA-level competition. Stephen A. Smith's passionate commentary reflected the frustration shared by many analysts and fans who questioned how Bronny James, with such modest statistics, continued to occupy a roster spot. But the situation surrounding Bronny is far more complex and emotionally charged than a simple stat line suggests. Bronny James isn't just another second-round draft pick trying to find his footing. He's the son of one of the greatest basketball players in history, thrust into a level of scrutiny few athletes have ever faced. Drafted 55th overall by the Los Angeles Lakers in the 2024 NBA Draft, his selection immediately ignited debate about merit versus nepotism. Reports surfaced that his agent, Rich Paul, had discouraged other teams from drafting Bronny, allegedly warning that he would play overseas if selected by anyone other than the Lakers. According to CBS Sports, this move appeared to be a calculated effort to ensure Bronny landed on the same team as his father. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski added another layer to the discussion, noting that nepotism exists in many areas of the NBA, from front offices to coaching, suggesting Bronny's case was part of a broader pattern. Still, given LeBron's global fame and influence, this particular instance became a lightning rod for larger conversations about fairness and opportunity in professional sports. Critics argued that Bronny's draft selection was driven more by his father's legacy than by his own merit, sparking a wave of uncomfortable and highly publicized debate. Fan reactions were deeply divided. Supporters called the moment awesome and historic, celebrating it as a once-in-a-lifetime father-son milestone. Others, however, were brutally critical, calling it an example of NBA nepotism, and even comparing it to a make-a-wish scenario. These harsh takes, while extreme, revealed a deeper frustration among fans who believe professional sports should remain a pure meritocracy. The debate also took on racial and social dimensions. Some commentators defended LeBron, arguing that his actions represented a celebration of black generational wealth, something often criticized when displayed by prominent black families but accepted in other industries. They noted that nepotism exists everywhere, in politics, business, entertainment, yet is rarely scrutinized when it benefits non-black individuals. From this viewpoint, the intense backlash against Bronny reflects a double standard applied to black success and family legacy. Opponents countered that professional sports are different, a realm where performance and talent should be the only currency. They pointed to Bronny's modest statistics as evidence that he wasn't yet ready for the NBA, regardless of his potential or family name. Despite the relentless criticism, Bronny's response has been strikingly mature. He's acknowledged the scrutiny but insists he focuses on staying positive and using it as motivation. "My first thought about everything is I always try to let it go through one ear and out the other," he told The Athletic. "Put my head down, come to work, and be positive every day." That mindset has served him well. While his NBA numbers are underwhelming, Bronny has shown flashes of real potential in the G League. Playing for the South Bay Lakers, he averaged 21.9 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 5.5 assists over 11 games, including a 39-point performance and a career-high 9 assists in back-to-back wins against Santa Cruz in March 2025. These performances demonstrate that, outside the glare of NBA lights, Bronny has the talent and drive to develop into a capable professional player. His summer league outings in July 2025 further supported this, highlighted by a 17-point game against the Clippers. Still, the controversy underscores broader questions about opportunity and fairness in the NBA. With so few roster spots available, critics argue that Bronny's inclusion came at the expense of more deserving players from college or overseas. Defenders counter that many second-round picks struggle early, and that development is rarely linear. Rich Paul has repeatedly made the point that countless players drafted in similar positions have needed time to adjust. But because Bronny is LeBron's son, every mistake and misstep is magnified 100-fold. Adding to the scrutiny is the financial disparity. Bronny's 4-year, $8 million contract and nil deals are far beyond what a typical second-round pick receives, feeding perceptions that he's benefiting from special treatment. That imbalance, critics say, makes it hard for fans to view his progress objectively. In many ways, Bronny's situation is a no-win scenario. If he performs well, detractors claim he's been handed opportunities others wouldn't get. If he struggles, they say he doesn't belong. The constant comparison to his father's greatness only heightens the pressure. For LeBron, watching his son endure such criticism must be excruciating, especially since some of it stems from choices he himself influenced. For Bronny, the challenge lies in carving out an identity distinct from his father's while facing expectations that border on impossible. And then came the moment that turned simmering tension into an open confrontation: the explosive feud between LeBron James and ESPN's Stephen A. Smith. On March 6, 2025, during a Lakers game against the New York Knicks, LeBron approached Smith courtside and confronted him about his relentless criticism of Bronny. The exchange shocked the basketball world, not just because it happened, but because it revealed how deeply the public scrutiny had affected the James family. It was a rare glimpse into the emotional toll this saga had taken, and a reminder that behind every headline and statistic are real people, father and son, fighting to protect their legacy in very different ways.
I'm saying we all see what's happening with your son right now. It's kind of hard to watch.
He clearly took exception to some of the things that he heard me say, and he confronted me about it.
The confrontation was intense and deeply personal, the kind of moment that went far beyond the boundaries of ordinary sports discourse. It wasn't just a superstar athlete clapping back at a critic. It was a father defending his son in the public arena, in front of millions of viewers. Witnesses described the exchange as tense but controlled, with LeBron visibly emotional as he challenged Stephen A. Smith's repeated criticisms of Bronny. For a few moments, the usual line separating athlete and media dissolved entirely, revealing the raw human emotion behind one of the NBA's most scrutinized storylines.
LeBron James rolled over on me and basically started speaking to me, getting in my face about stop effing with my son. That's my effing son. Stop effing with my son. And that was about the size of it. He didn't give me much of a chance to speak, to respond.
The raw emotion in that exchange was undeniable. The instinctive reaction of a father defending his child against what he saw as unfair treatment. Even for those who only heard about it later, the intensity of LeBron's words was palpable. But beneath the surface, this clash revealed a deeper tension. It wasn't merely about Bronny's on-court performance. It was about the enormous expectations and pressure that had been building for years. Some of which, critics argue, LeBron himself helped create through his own public statements about his son's potential. From Stephen A. Smith's perspective, LeBron had unintentionally fueled the scrutiny surrounding Bronny by making bold claims before the young guard had truly established himself in the NBA. Smith believed that by publicly hyping Bronny's abilities, LeBron had set an almost impossible standard, one that naturally invited comparison, debate, and criticism. But what made this situation even more fascinating was how Smith responded afterward. Rather than backing down, he doubled down. On his podcast, Smith described the confrontation as weak, a comment that only served to escalate the feud and spark a media firestorm. The immediate aftermath saw both men processing the moment in strikingly different ways. LeBron viewing it as a father's defense of his son's dignity, and Smith framing it as a journalist's right to critique public figures, even when those figures share his community and cultural background. In the end, what emerged wasn't just a personal clash between two powerful figures, but a reflection of something larger. How the intersection of fame, family, and modern sports media can turn even the most human emotions into headline news.
He was very, very upset. That wasn't a basketball player confronting me. That was a parent. That was a father.
This acknowledgement showed that Smith did, on some level, understand the emotional weight behind LeBron's actions, even if he fundamentally disagreed with how LeBron handled the situation. Still, that understanding didn't stop the feud from intensifying. What followed was a highly public back and forth that unfolded across talk shows, podcasts, and social media, revealing just how personally both men had become invested in defending their perspectives. LeBron took his response to the Pat McAfee show on March 26, 2025, where he openly criticized Stephen A. Smith for crossing a line from professional critique into personal attack. He argued that Smith's comments about Bronny went beyond fair analysis, suggesting they carried an undertone of disrespect toward his family. LeBron's tone during the interview was firm but emotional, a mix of frustration and protectiveness, as he made it clear that his issue wasn't with honest basketball discussion, but with what he viewed as repeated character-driven jabs aimed at his son.
And I just want to say for the record, LeBron James is full of it. And in this particular instance, as it pertains to his son, he is a liar. And he went on national television today and he lied again.
The Taylor Swift comparison was especially biting because it implied that Stephen A. Smith wasn't genuinely engaging in sports analysis, but instead exploiting the controversy for attention and ratings. That accusation cut deep, striking at one of the most sensitive debates in modern sports media: the fine line between authentic journalism and entertainment-driven commentary. As their feud escalated, it became increasingly clear that this was no longer just a disagreement about basketball. It had turned into something personal, and the intensity of their exchanges began to make even longtime observers uncomfortable. Following a game against the Indiana Pacers on March 26, 2025, LeBron seemed to fan the flames further. After scoring a dramatic late-game winner, he took to social media and posted what many described as a petty jab, a mocking video of Stephen A. Smith boxing, paired with a womp womp sound effect. The post made headlines instantly, signaling that LeBron was not only willing to keep the feud alive, but also to take it beyond interviews and into the realm of social media spectacle. Smith's response, when it came, was just as passionate and revealing. He defended his integrity as a journalist and doubled down on his belief that he had the right, even the responsibility, to critique players and their families when their public actions invited scrutiny. What had started as a debate about Bronny James's performance had now spiraled into a full-blown clash over ego, ethics, and the evolving nature of sports media itself.
I am pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this. Stop this. We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad.
Smith escalated the tension further when he claimed that if LeBron had physically touched him during their confrontation, he would have swung immediately. That statement added a new and unsettling layer to their already volatile feud, introducing a physical threat dimension to what had previously been a war of words. But the most revealing moment came when Smith finally explained what had truly triggered LeBron's anger. Contrary to popular belief, it wasn't the criticism of Bronny's basketball performance that set LeBron off. Instead, it was something far more personal: Smith's comments about LeBron as a father. During a previous segment, Smith had questioned whether LeBron's highly public praise of Bronny was actually helping or hurting his son's development, suggesting that LeBron's constant spotlight on Bronny might be adding unnecessary pressure. It was that suggestion, that he might be hindering his own child, that LeBron reportedly found deeply offensive, sparking the heated exchange that would dominate headlines for days.
When Bronny James was in high school, I never went to see him play on purpose. And when I spoke about it on the air, I said, the kid, from what I'm being told, has potential. But we all know how great his father is.